I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Smack 'em up, Cobb. It's time for the only news that matters. And Wolfgang Van Halen suggested that Eddie wouldn't approve of the negative Van Halen fans who believe they're guarding the band's legacy, and noted how important it was for him to prove he was capable of playing his dad's licks even though he chose not to. After kickstarting his career, Wolfgang Van Halen made a rule out of not playing the songs immortalized by his dad and his uncle's iconic band. The one exception to the "I'm not fucking playing Panama for you guys" rule was the All-Star Taylor Hawkins tribute concert in 2022. While he indeed proved he could play Panama on Hot for Teacher as well as his surname suggests. Wolfgang, who previously said that the experience provided him a sense of closure, he told Billy Corgan in a recent interview that proving he could play that song while choosing not to, was important to him, because given the criticism the self-proclaimed Van Halen fans would throw at him in the day. He said, "My dad enjoyed playing with me. That was one of his favorite things, and it was a big reason why the years of Van Halen where I was involved happened at all. I think when I did the Taylor Hawkins tribute, when I was playing those two Van Halen songs for Taylor and my dad, it was a big moment for me because it was one, proving that I can do it, and two, showing that I chose not to do it. My dad actually had a quote when they ended up doing a lot of cover songs on Diver Down. He said, I'd rather bomb with my own material than succeed with somebody else's. And I feel that way as well. I could very easily shack up and do Wolf Does Van Halen and probably make a decent living at it. It's a very hollow and astoundingly creatively unfulfilling. I feel like it's kind of selling out, and I can never do that. That's not satisfying to me. I would rather bomb on my own than succeed with what my dad laid before me." Later on, Wolfgang Van Halen suggested that Eddie Van Halen wouldn't think highly of those fans that are saying this to him. He says, "I think it's a funny thing when you see the people who are the strongest Van Halen fans outwardly acting in a way that my dad would be disgusted with. And they don't see that." Yeah? Well, there you go. It is ridiculous. It's just, I don't know, but Wolfgang's got to understand that people are stupid, People don't care if it's Eddie Van Halen or not. You're Wolfgang Van Halen. You are the son of a guitar legend. And you just happen to show everybody at the Taylor Hawkins thing that you can pull off your dad's solos, man. What he did on Hot for Teacher was phenomenal. Phenomenal. I mean, he nailed it. And that really pisses off even more of those Van Halen fans. Oh my God, he can play it. He shouldn't do Mammoth. He got to do his own thing. But I don't care. I saw Eddie Van Halen live. If I go see Wolfgang Van Halen do Van Halen, hey, he may be a Van Halen, but no, he's not his father. He's his father technically, but man, not to bash the guy, which I'm not. I support him, all right? And I even bought both his records, and I think both his records have a song or two I like on each of them. I'm not a fan of it. But I did go see him live, and I was really impressed, and I thought those songs sounded good live. I don't know, I think the album didn't really capture the vibe, because every song he played the night I saw him, it was good. And he was doing some ripping solos, you know? You see, I'd go pay to see Wolfgang Van Halen's Mammoth. Even if I'm not crazy about those albums, I'm glad I went. But if it's Wolfgang playing Van Halen, yeah, I'd go as well. But, you know, at the same time, I'm cool if he doesn't do that. Because, hey, I saw Eddie Van Halen, man, second row in 1980 doing the intro to Woman in Love right in my face. And I saw Fair Warning and fucking Diver Down and in 1984. I saw all that shit. No band will ever match the intensity of Van Halen in the 80s. And it was also a different time, because if you bring that show from the 80s of Van Halen today, the way society is, it won't have the same impact. It just won't. I don't think concerts have had such an impact in a long... I can't remember the last time I saw a concert that blew my mind. I mean, I can think of a couple club shows where I saw local bands and stuff that blew my mind, but as far as like going to an arena and all that shit, seeing these bands I saw a million years ago, way better and it costs way less. Yeah, it's, you know, it's hard for Wolfgang to be a rock guy in today's age, but he's trying, man, and I'll give him that. Will he succeed? Who knows, man. I hope he does. Even if I don't like his music, I hope he succeeds. He seems like a nice guy. You know, all right, he is a little touchy, you know, with people online and stuff like that. I guess I would be too. You know, I mean, even the pickle whistlers I get, they're no different than these people that Wolfgang's dealing with. You know, fucking, I don't know. Poor guy, you know, he lost his dad. His dad couldn't have been around to see all this stuff, but, you know, I just hope, I wish him the best, and I know he's making a third album, and you know what? I'm going to buy it. I know he doesn't need my money. He's got enough Van Halen money to last his whole life, you know, but I don't know, man. I just have this special bond, you know, I don't know, with Wolfgang Van Halen, you know. He's the reason that, you know, Van Halen went out with David Lee Roth. That's how they ended it. Because of Wolfgang and bringing all those deep tracks, Hear About It Later and stuff like that into the set list. That was all Wolfgang. He convinced his dad to do it, and his dad was like, I'll do it if you play bass. And it was, I love the different kind of truth. I love that stuff, and I thought his bass playing on that album was freaking phenomenal. You know, and I think his drumming's phenomenal, and his guitar player and bass player, and I like his voice too, you know. Mega talented kid, but you know, Van Halen fans are retarded. I'm a Van Halen fan. If you're listening, Wolfie, keep doing your do. Keep doing what you do, you know? Fuck what anybody, play Panama. Fuck you. Not gonna play Panama. I wanna play my own shit. I'm on Team Wolfgang on that. You fucking people that want him to do Van Halen shows. You're the same kind of people that would go see a fucking band with only one original member thinking you're gonna see the band that was, you know? Just, I don't know, man. It was like back in the 80s and even 90s. All this shit that's happening today wouldn't fly back then. It wouldn't. It would hurt, you know, getting rid of key members in bands and continuing without that key member, you know? But if you get Van Halen together with Wolfgang and Alex Van Halen and do Van Halen with David Lee Roth or Sammy or whatever, you know, people would pay big money to see that shit. I would sit that out. That I wouldn't go see. Well, maybe for free. What am I talking about? I just said I'd go see Wolfgang do Van Halen shit. I prefer to see him do his regular shit, but yeah, I probably would pay it. It'd probably be like all the other idiots wanted to pay to see Van Halen with Wolfgang, but not Eddie. But I'll tell you, man, it's not Van Halen. No way. And speaking of Van Halen, oh my God. There's a YouTube channel. The guy's name is James Vega. And I'm telling you, he put up so much rare Van Halen videos. There's like videos from 1978. One is from Uniondale, 16 minutes long. One from Madison Square Garden, that's 18 minutes long. And then there's Lubbock, Texas, which is 9 minutes long. And Tokyo, Japan, all 78 footage. That one's 6 minutes long. Then you have Nagoya, 1978. That's 3 minutes long. San Diego, 78, 10 minutes long. Oakland, that's the day on the green, 10 minutes long, 78. Another another Japanese one that's 3 minutes. Osaka, 17 minutes from 1978. And Van Halen goes to McDonald's. I'm just overlooking it now. And you know, they have the making of Hot for Teacher that's almost 90 minutes long, and the UK B-roll is amazing. Eddie's doing guitar solos backstage. Well, his little trailer there because it's an outdoor show, and a bunch of other stuff. Check it out. Just type in James Vega, VEGA, and put Van Halen, and you are going to be blown away by all this killer footage this guy put up, man. But anyway, what do you all think about the whole Van Halen? Do you want to see Wolfgang just play Van Halen? You know, because I know a lot of people don't like the Wolfgang stuff. It hasn't exploded. I mean, I went. It came my way. I was like, I'm going to go pay my respects, goddammit. And I'm glad I did. It was fun. But what do you all think? You know, it's like, or yeah, I like it, or no, man, he's only got to play Van Halen because, you know, I want to go see stuff that's not real. Anyway, leave it in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching The Only News That Matters. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And ring that little notification bell, man. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen a fair warning. And smack 'em a cob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.